vetoed this, and so the move, I would accept the motion to override the veto in terms of moving the CML and PPACG dues from general cost budget to the city council budget. Jan?
Scott, I moved to override the veto of the mayor to move CML and PPACG dues from general cost budget to the city council budget. Second.
And I hear a second. Because we don't have the ability to do electronic voting in here, in each case I will do voice voting. So I'll start this time with Mr. Herpin. Yes. Angela?
No.
Murph?
I wanted to ask some questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Murph.
May I ask that?
Sure.
Give my vote? I didn't understand the mayor's explanation of this one. It doesn't have any cost change, but when we look at number 6, which we're going to talk about, I understood where he's talking about because that he overrode that because that's really a staff function. I don't understand. Maybe someone can explain his position on this one. It seems to me that CML and PPACG are items that primarily pertain to council. So it's not a staffing situation. So I didn't understand his explanation.
Yes, good afternoon, Lisa Bigelow, Budget Manager for the City of Colorado Springs. And it's the mayor's position that we are reviewing all of our organization's dues, goes to CML as well as PPACG, and determining whether or not they can justify the costs associated with those. And he believes if it goes to your budget, then he won't have that authority to review that. And as I understand by the charter, it's more of an operational versus a legislative item. So we would recommend that it remain in the general cost section.
I'm sorry, and I will do this each time. I'll ask for council if there's any discussion I have for a call.
And since it has a zero cost change to it, I feel that those are items that pertain primarily to council, so I'm going to vote yes on this.
Val?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
No. And that measure passes on a 7-2 vote. I declare that the veto has been overridden. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep track as we go through. Item number 2, I would accept the motion to override the mayor's veto of the $175,000 for maintenance and repair of the tennis courts. Lisa?
President Hente, I would like to offer in a motion for to override the veto for the tennis courts maintenance and repair at a cost of $175,000.
Second.
I've had a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? This time, Tim, I'm sorry, Brandy.
I do realize that in our city we have many things that need maintenance and repair, and the list, as the mayor mentioned, is $1.1 billion. Just this week, a citizen has offered to step forward the possibility of taking a portion of this money and making a grants application where that would be 10% of the grant money, thereby making the total $350,000, so then we can start chiseling away at our maintenance and repair. And I think moving forward, we really need to be leveraging our money. I will just say that I don't think Colorado Springs leverages its money as much as it needs to. We really need to, instead of looking at dollar for dollar, looking at where we can take those dollars and make them a portion of the amount of money that then comes in either statewide or federal. So I will be in support of this because I do realize there are a ton of issues, but if we can take this one thing and check it off the list, then that's $1.1 billion with a little bit less that we have to worry about in the future.
Murph, did you have a comment?
I do, and I'm sympathetic to the tennis courts, but the mayor has said after the first quarter we could review these again. So my preference would be to wait after the first quarter.
Any additional comments from the guys? We have a motion and a second. Tim, this time I'll start with you. No.
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes. And I declare that that vote passes on a 6-3, and the veto has been overridden with regards to the maintenance and repair of the tennis courts. Item number 3 is to add one full-time equivalent code enforcement officer at a cost of $84,295. I'll accept a motion to override the veto. Bernie?
Mr. President, recognizing that code enforcement is an essential part of ensuring the health and safety of our community, I respectfully move that the council override budget item the mayor's veto of budget item number 13, authorizing and funding an additional code enforcement officer.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion from the dais? Bernie, this time we'll start with you.
Yes.
Angela?
No.
No.
Yes.
I vote yes.
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 No. And I declare that that motion passes on a 63 vote, and the veto has been overridden. Item number 4, at a cost of $43,000, is to add half of a full-time equivalent for legislative and communications support for city council. Val?
Mr. President, I move to override item 4.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion from the dais? Tim, this time I'll start with you.
Yes.
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 I vote yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
I declare that the item to add one half of the legislative communication person supported at city council passes on a 63 vote. Therefore, the veto has been overridden. Item number 5, $10,000 to the Old Colorado Historical Society for Education, History, and Culture. Lisa?
President Hente, I'd like to offer a motion to override the veto for the Old Colorado Historical Society for Education, History, Culture, and Economic Development for the cost of $10,000.
Do I hear a second? That motion fails for lack of a second, and the veto has not been overridden. Item number 6 is at a cost of $0 to authorize the park staff to grow flowers for springs in bloom. Do I have a motion from the floor, or from the dais, I'm sorry?
I move to override the veto to authorize park staff to grow flowers for springs in bloom.
Bernie?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor, Mr. President, but the concern I have is the current plan is that we purchase flowers, and last year we purchased those flowers from a greenhouse in Penrose, Colorado. So we sent Colorado Springs money outside of the city to purchase flowers when we had the capability to grow those flowers here at the same or better cost. In addition, we get better flowers.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any further comments from the dais? Brandy?
And if this would be for the city attorney, is this more of a recommendation rather than an actual, we would like this to happen? Because I don't understand or how council would have a role in this. I could see us recommending that this happen, but I don't necessarily know that we have the authority to make it happen. I don't know if you have that answer in front of you.
I have not been asked for a formal opinion, but this was an item passed by council when they amended the budget, and the language council used was authorized park staff. As you know, under the charter, the mayor is the chief executive administrative officer, so staff, whether they're authorized by council or not, would not be permitted to take any action that is not authorized or directed by the mayor. So this really is an authorization without any legal authority.
Are there any other additional comments or questions for us? Bernie?
I would consider this a recommendation to the mayor. Certainly we cannot direct the mayor how to direct staff. It would be, to me, it's a indication that we would like to see Colorado Springs dollars, for all practical purposes, remain within our community whenever possible.
I'm sorry, Merv, did
That's not what the motion says.
I understand.
I agree with her,
Okay.
but that's not what
Any additional questions or comments? Seen as such, there's been a motion and a second, so Tim, I'll start with you this time.
No.
Lisa?
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes?
No.
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 Yes.
Scott?
I'm sorry, if you allow me, real quick, just announce the vote. That vote fails on a 3 to 5 vote, therefore the veto has not been overridden. Vern, I'm sorry.
I would like, and this is, I know it's not part of our process, but I think it would be appropriate to ask the mayor to consider making those purchases within the city of Colorado Springs.
I think we can make that through the administrative purposes in the form of a will of council or a letter to the mayor to do that. Randy?
Did someone not vote?
I'm sorry, 3 to
Big.
6, I'm sorry, 3 to 6, I misstated, I'm sorry. Anyway, the vote fails, the veto is not overridden. Item number 7 is in discussions with staff prior to this, that's a house cleaning item. Madam Liaison, I understand that you've been doing a running total for us, so we have to adjust that figure at the bottom.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The amount to approve to balance the budget is $371,000.
And that
will go to the general fund reserve.
And that reflect, and so we have to override what the mayor did, just to reflect what we did on the 4 votes that, or I'm sorry, yes, on the 4 votes that we took to override his vetoes, is that correct?
That is correct.
So I will accept a motion to override the mayor's veto with item number 7 to adjust that to $371,000.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and seconds. Are there any additional comments from the dais? Tim?
Point of clarification, so this is just gonna get us in balance in with what we just said?
Exactly. This just puts us in balance with the 6 previous votes that we just took. And Mr. Attorney, I believe I stated that correctly. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that's correct. We're required by state statute to have a balanced budget, and by the actions that you previously voted on, this would ensure that the 2012 budget is balanced.
Thank you. Bernie, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Angela?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And so that passes on an 8 to 1 vote, and I declare that the mayor's veto has been overridden. Thank you very much, and I will adjourn our special meeting of the City Council. And I'd like to take a couple minutes break while we let the media and the city leave and the utility come in before we start our City Council, or before we start our utility board meeting.